Hello my friends and welcome back to new video. In this video I'm going to show you how to build this application to learn how to work with Retrofit2 library, coroutines, LaunchedEffect, and then we will learn how to use coil library to load images directly from URL onto the async image. Then I will show you how to implement marquee text on the text of the items, and in the next step we will implement a search view on the main screen of the application. The application will have two screens, the main screen to show all of the items and the details screen to show the details of one item. So we have to use navigation to navigate from one screen to another screen, and we have to use nav arguments to take the data from the main screen to the details screen. So be with me till the end of this video to learn all of them. Let's go. Okay, let's start with grader. Here I've changed this compile-stk and the target-stk to 34 based on the version that I'm using during the time of recording video. Based on your project, if you need, you have to change them. Then all the way down below I have added these dependencies, these two lines for retrofit and these two lines for coil and the last one for navigation. And inside of the main activity I don't have anything, and I've deleted all of the extra stuff. And let's go to do the retrofit setup. Right click, new package here, and I'm going to call it utils. As always, the 7 steps that I'm using to implement retrofit setup. Starting with object, calling it util, and inside of the util it's better to change it to capital letter. Refactor, rename, and uppercase letter at the beginning. Now it's better. Okay, here I need a constant value, and I'm going to store the base URL here. Let me copy and paste it. And now you can see it easily. If you want to copy it, pause the video and write it. Okay, then another package here, another file here. Again, it will be object, and I'm going to call it retrofit instance. It's an object, and inside it we are going to retrofit. Yeah, we are going to write the stuff to create the retrofit setup. So I need a value here, calling it API, and out of the interface API interface. We don't have it, and I'm going to create it right now by lazy. For those who haven't watched videos about API in my channel, this lazy is like late init variables that we were declaring, and that means we are going to declare what is this API later, not now. And let's go to create this API interface and come back here. Okay, here right click, new, and I'm going to create a new package calling it data. and inside it new kotlin interface, calling it API interface. Let it be like that, we will come back to it later. And now I can import this because we have it now. Okay, now I know why I have this error here. Sorry, I have a typo here. Again, refactor, rename. I need an E here. Retrofit refactor, and now everything is correct. Okay, inside of it, retrofit, and you should use this one, Retrofit2 dot builder, and in the next line dot base URL and the address of the base URL. It was in the util and the name of it was base. In the next line dot add converter factory, and the converter will be gson converter factory dot create. In the next line build, and in the last line again create, and API interface class.java. That's it here. Inside of the API interface, we have to create a suspend function, but we need the data class that is supposed to hold the data for us. So first let's create the data class, then we will come back here to this interface. Again, right click here, new, another package, calling it models. Inside it, we will going to create the data classes. Let's go to a browser and check the URL to have a sample of the example, then we will create the data classes out of that sample. Okay, here is the whole URL and with the endpoint, of course, and this is the answer. So we can click Ctrl A and Ctrl C. Then let's go back to Android Studio. Here, right click on the models, new, and I'm going to use this plugin. And again, if you don't know how to use it, if you don't have it, go to the file, go to the setting, and in the settings, go to the plugins. Here, search for it, JSON to Kotlin. This one, the first one. Click this install button here and it will be installed. Then it will show up here in the new. Here I'm going to paste the data that I have copied, and here I need a name, and I'm going to write all memes data generate. Here now in the models I have 3 data classes automatically. This one is the first one, all memes data. The second one is this data, and the third one is the meme. So that's it. Let me zoom and you can see them clearly. Okay, we are done in the data classes. Let's go back to the interface, and here we need a suspend function, and I'm going to call it get memes list or get all memes, something like that. And here I need annotation get out of Retrofit2 parentheses, and inside the parentheses I need the endpoint. which was get underscore memes. Okay, here we will have a response, so we have to mention the response as well. A response, and it will go to the class memes. Yeah, here inside of this data class. So the reference of the response is here. Okay, everything is done with the retrofit setup. Now in the next step we have to create the screens and manage the HTTP request inside of the main activity. So let's go to the main activity, and here let's start with stuff about the navigation, and that's it, nothing more. So I need two screens. Let me create them. Here again, right click, new package, calling it the screens. Inside of it I need two files. One file as a main screen, and the other file as the details screen. Okay, later we will create them, but for now let's just have two functions only here for each of them, I mean, and then we will come back to create everything and load the data on it. We need a composable function and calling it details screen. Okay, and in the main screen the same, a composable function. Okay, that's enough for now. Let me close the extra stuff, and here in the main activity here I'm going to start with the nav host. This one that has the start destination, I'm going to choose it. I don't need this builder, and curly bracer. Here I need a nav controller, so I'm going to create it, and it will be, well, nav controller. Equal to remember nav controller. Then I'm going to pass this nav controller here, and I need the start destination, and it will be the main screen. Main screen, and here I'm going to create composables for the screens. I need the root, calling it main screen. Inside of the body of this composable, I'm going to pass the name of this function, main screen. Main screen. Okay. Later, after the HTTP request, we have to pass some data to this main screen. I will leave it like that for now. After creating the whole graph, I will come back to it and we will complete it. So we have another screen, so we need another composable for it. The route will be details screen. And detail screen. Okay. We have to pass some data from this screen to this screen as well, so we have to use the navigation arguments as well, but let's do them step by step. I will leave the navigation like that, managing the HTTP request, loading it in the main screen, then we will come back to create the details screen. So here on the top, let's start writing the codes about the retrofit HTTP request. Okay, I need a list here. Memes list by remember and mutable state of list of, and here I'm going to pass the meme class, importing it, and that's it. We have this list to load the data in it after the HTTP request. Then I need a val calling it a scope equals to remember coroutine scope, and I'm going to use LaunchedEffect, the key true, and I don't need the below. Then here inside of this curly braces, a scope dot launched, and here dispatchers dot io. Let me explain these two lines of code here for those who don't know what are these. Basically, when we want to execute automatically a function inside of the onCreate, which is the composable function, I mean, and as soon as the application is open, we want to see the result of this function and we want to create the view. So here inside of this LaunchedEffect, we have to create it, and I'm going to use this coroutine scope to connect anything that I'm going to write between these two curly braces in the body of this launcher scope to the IO thread, which is the data thread. not the main thread. So we will have multiple threads now, not only a single thread. So simply anything is between these two block, between this block and this block, will be connected to the data thread, and as soon as we are opening the application, it will be automatically launched. So let's continue now. The val response equals to try, and here retrofit instance dot API dot get memes list. So we are going to execute this, this function, and the result will be stored inside of this response. But we have to manage the try catch for the exceptions. So here I need two catches. First, for the IO exception, which will be like the application errors and this IO thread errors, and the second one for the HTTP errors. So here let's start with IO exception, then return launch, and here again another catch HTTP exception, and again return launch. Now here we can write a toast, a log, whatever you want, and I'm going to write toast for the context. I'm going to pass this, and for the text body I'm going to write app or IO error, and $, curly braces, dot message. That's it here, and let's copy this and paste it here. And instead of this app error, I'm going to write HTTP. Okay, we are done here with creating this response and creating the HTTP request. Now we have to work on the response. So finally, after this try catch, that means we have a data, so we have to extract the data. So if the response dot is successful and response dot body is not equal to null, that means we receive the data. Then now I have to connect the material that I'm going to write to the main thread. So with context, and this time dispatchers dot main. If you don't write this, you will not see any data on the screen. Now between these two curly braces in the body of this, I'm going to write memes list equals to response dot body null check again dot I think I made a short mistake. Let's go to the API interface, and here it should not be this meme. It should be all memes data, and we don't need this. Let's go to the main activity now, and here dot data dot memes. Change it to the var. Okay. So the HTTP request is done, and the received data will be stored inside of this memes list. Now we have to pass this memes list to the main screen to display it. So inside of this parentheses, I'm going to write memes list equals to memes list, and we need navigation controller to navigate from this screen to this screen. So I'm going to pass the nav controller as well, and create parameter memes list, and again create parameter nav controller refactor. Yeah. Now inside of the main screen I have this memes list and nav controller. Okay, let's create the UI of the main screen, then test the application and see if it works or not. Then we will implement the search view, and we will pass the detail to the details screen. Let's go. Okay, let's have a modifier here with the type of modifier equals to modifier. Okay, we need a column. Let me check the example. Okay, here on the top we have the search view, then we have this LazyVerticalStaggeredGrid, and that's it. So I think we should have a column, and down below we should have this grid. So let's start with having a column. Modifier dot fill max size. Okay, inside of this column, for the search view I need a value, calling it text state, and equals to remember mutable state of text field value, and it can be the default value here. Okay, then I need a function as the search view, a composable function. Let me create a composable function. here I need the search view itself, and we have to pass some material into it. We need the state for it equals to this text state, then a placeholder, it can be a simple text, search here, and a modifier. Let's add them. Okay, in the next line I need another value for the searched text, and it will be text state dot value dot text. If you haven't watched the video that I have posted about the search view, I have to briefly tell you that we have created this value here. Then in the search view we will have a plain text, a text field, let's say. The text of the text field will be stored inside of this text state, and we will take it and we will put it inside of this new variable. Then we will pass it inside of this LazyVerticalStaggeredGrid, and we will check if inside of this memes list we have the search text, and if we have, we'll filter the items of the LazyVerticalStaggeredGrid. If we don't have, we'll ignore it. And let's continue with having the LazyVerticalStaggeredGrid. For the columns, we need a stagger grid cells dot fixed, and 2 in a column is enough. We don't need the content, and we need the padding, so content padding equals to padding values and 10.dp will be enough. Okay, Alt Control Enter, and now the body of this LazyVerticalStaggeredGrid. Then here items, and here again items equals to meme list dot filter. We are going to filter this memes list, so we need this search text variable. So here it dot name dot contains, and you are going to pass this search text here, and ignore case true. Okay, that's whatever we need here, and dot we need a key here, key equals to it dot maybe id. And finally we need this body here, and item. And now I'm going to create another composable function for the single item of this LazyVerticalStaggeredGrid, and we will pass this data into it. Okay. Yeah, before this, function, and I'm going to call it meme item. Let's send the data here. Okay, meme item, and we need to pass this item name equals to item dot name. Then we need item URL for the images, and it will be item dot URL. And then the nav controller will be nav controller. Let me pass them. Okay, we have everything that we need here, and we are done here. Let's go to this function to create the layout of a single item. And here again, a modifier equals to modifier. So inside of any item, we have a card, and inside of it we have async image, and down below we have the text. So let's implement it. Or maybe, yeah, we need the card at the beginning. Wrap content size dot padding 10 dot dp, and then clickable, and I will leave it empty for now. Later we will write the codes to navigate from this screen to the other screen. And here after the modifier, we need change the color of the card colors. Card defaults dot card colors, container color, and color my favorite yellow 0x4f C107, and it's here. Everything is done for the card. In the body of the card we need a column, and the column needs the modifier dot padding of maybe 60p. And wrap content size again. Horizontal alignment center horizontally. Okay, then inside of this column we need async image. As the model, I'm going to pass item URL, and as the content description we can pass the name, item name. It should be a string type, doesn't matter what we will write. Okay, and I need a modifier here. Dot fill max size and dot clip rounded corner shape, and maybe 20 dp or 10. Okay, async image is done, and after this async image I need a spacer. Modifier dot height of 20.dp, and finally the text. The text of it can be item name, and let's do some changes to see it better. Font size 20.sp, importing the sp. In the next line, text align, text align center, and then modifier dot fill max size, and finally dot basic marquee. And finally here we are going to write another spacer. 12 dp. What's wrong here? Item name 20 sp, text align not center, modifier fill max size, fill max width, basic marquee. should take the modifier here. No, here. Okay, everything is done here. So we have our data, and now let's implement the search view. Okay, a text field, and as the value of the text field I'm going to pass the state dot value, and on value changed I need composable here, a value, and down below a state dot value equals to this value. Okay, and a modifier again to customize the shape of it. Fill max width dot padding, maybe top equals to 20 dp. And will be 10 dp. Start. dp. Dot clip rounded corner shape 30 dp, and finally a border. The thickness will be 2.dp, and the color dark gray, and rounded corner shape 30.dp. Okay, we are done with the modifier. Let's go further. The placeholder equals to the placeholder. Sorry, should not be like that. I need a text. Then goes to placeholder, then colors, and text field defaults dot text field colors, container color, and it will be again this yellow. After the colors, max lines will be 1, and single line equals to true, and text style will be text style and color equals to maybe color black. Okay, everything is done here. Let's check it on the emulator. Okay, something is wrong. Denied permission. As always, I forgot to add the internet permission. Manifest, and here users permission, internet permission. Let's check it again. Okay, here we have the search view and we have all of the items, and the marquee text is here, but when I'm clicking on them nothing happens. And here let's filter them. Sad Pablo Escobar and a random character, maybe K, KO, we don't have KA. We have Pikachu and panic on panic. Okay, that's it for the main screen, and let's go to the details screen now. To go to the details screen we need some materials, because we want to display some data there, so we have to pass these materials there, and we have to use the navigation graph. Here on the card view we had this clickable. I'm going to use nav controller dot navigate, and then we have to pass the route. The route will be route, let's see, details screen. Then we have to use the graph to pass the data to the details screen, but let's use this way: question mark, then a name equals to $, item name, and we need the URL as well, so and URL equals to $, item URL. That's the whole data that we want to pass to the details screen to display them there. So we are done here totally in the main screen. Let's go to the graph to extract the data and pass it to this details screen. Okay. Inside this composable, after the route address, here we need to write the arguments. Equals to list of, and inside of this list nav argument, and we need a name equals to any keyword that you want. I'm going to write it like name. Then inside of it we have to mention the type of this data equals to nav type, sorry, with capital N, nav type, it's a string type, and that's it. Here nav argument, again the name, the name will be URL, and the same, the type is a string, equals to nav type string type. That's it for here. And in the route you have to write that you are passing the data. So question mark name equals to curly braces, inside of it the name, and URL equals to curly braces and URL closing the bracket. We have everything here. Now we have to extract the data and pass it to the details screen. So we need name, then it dot arguments question mark dot get a string, and we have to pass the keyword. It was name. Same for the URL. It arguments get a string and the keyword will be URL. Here a comma, and that's it. Refactor and create parameter URL refactor. So we extracted data from the graph and we passed it into the detail screen, and now we have the required data here. So we just need to create the layout and display it there. Let's do it. Here in the example we have like a screen with this yellow color, async image, and the text, nothing more. So we can have a column or a surface or a box, whatever you want. I'm going to use a column here. Directly, and here modifier. Well, let's add the modifier here. Modifier dot a background. We need again that yellow color or any other color you want. Zero x 4 times f c 107 dot fill max size, because we want to occupy the whole screen, dot padding and horizontal 16.dp, importing the dp, and then vertical 45.dp. That's good. Horizontal alignment center horizontally. Then we check if we have the data in the name and in the URL. So if URL l is not equal to null, then async image, the model will be URL, and the content description will be name. And again we have to customize it a bit, comma, and modifier dot fill max width dot clip rounded corner shape 10.dp. You can have else block here and write a toast that there is no URL or whatever you want. And again, if name is not equal to null, I need a text. The text of it can be the name, should be name, not can be. Then a comma, and here font size 30.sp, importing the sp, font weight bold or extra bold, then text align center, and modifier. So again we have this error. Let's have the modifier here, modifier dot fill max width dot wrap content height. Okay, the modifier should come here. After the text align, we need the line height and 45.sp. Let's have a spacer between this image and this text. Dot height of 20.dp. That's it. I think everything is done, and let's check it. Okay, something went wrong, and let's check what it is. Navigation destination that matches. Okay, here is the problem. We have the problem in the graph, and here I think inside of this details screen, no, inside of the main screen here, I don't know why I put these spaces between the letters. It should be like that. Let's check it again. Okay, now it works perfect. You can open whatever you want and you can check one of them. Okay, that's it. Okay, my friends, that was everything that I wanted to cover in this video. I hope you learned all of the materials and I hope that was a useful video for you. If you like this video or this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up to show me that you like it. If you have any comment, any question, any suggestion, write them down below for me and I will be so happy to read and answer them. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and please hit the subscribe button and bell button to be aware about the new videos. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye bye.